Everyone, what an incredible week in markets yet again. Now, there is some fragility being introduced into the overall market landscape with inflation data coming out. Earlier in the week, we ended up seeing the CPI data not really create a big issue for the market. In fact, we went higher. And then when the PPI data came out yesterday, Thursday, we ended up seeing the market react to that, but no breakdown as such. Now, what you've got on the screen is a lot of tools. These are our high-powered strategies from 32-time international investing trading champion Rob Hoffman, the ITP toolkit, the TRP toolkit, the champion trend pack, and you've also got my triple S indicator in there. Now, for those listening in and watching in, one of the most important things that I can kind of share with you right off the bat is on a weekly chart, we're still in a strong uptrend that has lost a little bit of momentum. And in fact, if you take a close look at where we have been able to get up to, we've been able to get up to just shy of that target to 5260 on the ES June expiry contract, or the ESM contract. Now that happened last week. Where we got up to this week was still inside the range, lower high than last week's high on the ESM contract, and we haven't made a lower low, of course. We ended up closing above the blue speed line and, of course, well above the magenta speed line. The blue speed line is the fast speed line. The magenta is the slow. Now, remark the levels, 51.70 and 51.37. Now, that 51.37 area is roughly equivalent to about 506 on the SPY. Okay, so I just want to make sure that you get that and you hear that right off the bat. Now, what's important to really communicate is we have seen an inside week that is still in a bullish market. However, the market, when you look at some of the sub-chart tools over here, is depicting a loss of bullish momentum and potentially a minor pullback ahead of the next bounce. So you can see on the triple S indicator, the red line, which is the triple S line right over there, is starting to crawl down from the fourth quadrant down into the third, exhibiting some fragility. You can see right over here on the ITP triggers, this is part of Rob's ITP toolkit, that the fast trigger has gone magenta, showing a loss of bullish momentum. However, we're still seeing the TRP momentum crossover line in blue above the top of the channel, but we've nearly made it to that target too. Now, finally, at the very bottom of the screen, what I want to really show you here is that you've got a market that is seeing that spike 2.0 tool right at the very bottom of your screen, suggesting that we are running a little dry on high octane bullish fuel. We still have the slow spike above the top of the channel. The fast spike, however, has come down. Now that all together is summed up to express a little fragility in the market, not to really tell you that things are to roll over in a major way. Now, of course, all indications and outlooks are provided based on fact-based research here, but I'm not the person that's going to tell you what will happen, but what the tools and the signals suggest. Now, I've exposed the daily chart to bring us a little closer into what's likelier to play out in the next week of market action. It effectively adds more credence to the fragility in the market. You can see that on the triple S, the trigger. You can see it as well from the TRP negative momentum cross, and you can of course see it on the spike 2.0 tool, giving us more signs of a potential weakening. Now don't forget that 51.70 and 51.37 number, because as I break the time frame down further here for you, the 4-hour chart has a existing sell signal that you'll be able to see very clearly. I'm going to highlight it right here, and then we're going to zoom in on it and take a quick look-see at it. The sell signal is a TRP sell signal that appeared, right up at highs that you can see right over here, and has a target 1, which we achieved today, and a little lower, of course, has a midline at around 51.58, and has got a target 2 down here at 51.37. Now that should ring a bell from what you just saw me kind of break out on the weekly chart. The slow speed line on the weekly chart is in that 51.37 area, and you can go back right over there to again verify that and identify that as a potential level of incremental support. First, the fast speed line, 51.70, then the slow speed line at 51.37. All of this is tantamount to what? A market that left this week in a sell signal state using multiple time frames. It tells us fragility is exhibited on the weekly, the daily adds to that, and now the 4-hour chart is in an existing sell signal state. Now this is effectively opening the door for a dip, which is likely followed by a bounce based on the bullish nature and uptrending structures in the market. But one wants to be a little bit more careful as we move into next week. And the expectation is a move that can take us a little lower before any further attempt at a bounce back up. Now, using the intraday signals on tools, just like these, actually the same layout, but adding a few more intraday time frames, I was able to do some live trading in front of active Trader Room members to finish the week strong, where in the majority of that gain that you can see down over there of about $525, the majority was done right in front of members on screen, entries and exits. Now, again, I can't guarantee these kind of results all the time, but what I can tell you is, again, following the signals objectively, knowing your way around the neighborhood helps, but following those signals objectively tends to work out better for me. It's those days where you don't follow them where it doesn't work out well. Now, I'll send you off into the rest of your day today with a positive message. Incredible mastermind event from Rob and Hubert and all the students raving about it. Incredible week in the active Trader Room where folks got to see me trade live pretty much every day and do fairly well there. And all culminates into we've got high-powered strategies and tools that are competition-tested, award-winning, and all culminates on an incredible platform, Wealth Charts, to make it a higher probability for traders to do better in markets. The next Wealth 365 Summit is coming up fast and feverishly on April the 8th, the biggest in the world with an incredible lineup of speakers. Simply go to joinziad.com and get yourself all registered for the next Wealth 365 Summit. It's coming up fast and feverishly. The incredible speakers will help provide you the insights you need to get set up for this transitory year into the midpoint of the year and beyond. If you like the insights and ideas and tools and strategies you saw in the previous video from me, well, you get to hear from me during the summit at least a couple of times, and I'm looking forward to as well presentations from incredible speakers like Rob Hoffman, Hubert Centers, and many, many more. Go to joinziad.com, get yourself registered for the next biggest and best Wealth 365 Summit starting on April the 8th. Have a great rest of your day.